Yes, guys, how you all doing? Back with another video to debunk the myth that Spurs don't have the quality to play a different style of football to improve performances and hopefully get some more wins, especially at home. Guys, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new here. I know I'm looking a little bit homeless this morning, but it's freezing. It's really cold. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, I just want to go through this video and give us your thoughts at the end of it and see what you think. So look, this Spurs squad here, it's not a team full of superstars, but it's good. It's got capable players across all positions, midfield, defence and attack. You know, we got the likes of Romero, Van der Ven, Danzo. You know, Radu will be coming back soon. I think we do have some good midfielders. Are they world class? No. We do have some good fullbacks as well. And the whole idea that Spurs lack that quality, it just isn't true. Let's be honest. What we've seen this season is we lack that consistency. You know, there's been fitness issues and that clear structure. But the issue is that we have not got good players. I just don't think it's true. So point one is the strong defensive foundation that we should have, right? Romero, Van der Ven, you've got Danso in there who can come in and cover as well. Romero, aggressive, front-footed, win duels early. You've got Danso, who's reliable. Sorry, he's physically strong. He's steady Eddie, right? He does his job. And then you've got Van der Ven with that recovery pace, covers wide areas, and you know his defending has improved this season. And also he's popping up with goals as well. So I think, in my opinion, that defensive line gives you that freedom to be more offensive. They ain't elite, I know that, but they're clearly good enough to play together and to allow the team to play more higher up the pitch and allow that midfield to push on 100%. That's what I think anyway. So that point two is the midfield. And looking at the balance there, we have Paulinho, one of the best defensive midfielders in the league. He breaks up play, he protects the back line. He's also chipping in goals as well this season. You've got Bentancur. You know, many say that his injuries have caught up with him, but yeah, he can pass the ball. He can play a part in those phases between midfield and attack and link the play. He's more than capable of doing it. And then you have Saar with the energy, the up and down, the ball carrying, the box to box, who can defend, he can score goals, he's good at pressing, and alongside him, and I'm talking about current players who are fit, Bergvall as well. You know, he's a forward-thinking player. Yes, he's raw, but he can break the line. He can drive with the ball, run into the box. He can shoot. His play won't always come off, yeah, but you know, because he's just young still. But he definitely has ability, and he has something to offer this team. And hopefully, when he comes back, we'll see it. So this midfield that we have, which many people kind of slate, and yes, we do need better quality longer term. But there's more than enough there to play better, I think. You've got the work rate, got ball winning, and these players are capable of passing the ball forward, in my opinion. Yes, so I think they can absolutely support a kind of more central, coordinated style of play, I think so anyway. So look, let's have a look at our attackers, right? Again, another area that we've all been kind of slating, even myself to be honest. But these four players can offer more than what we see. And you've got Xavi Simons in there, you know, he's good at his link up play, tight control, smart movement. We've got kudos, unpredictability, he can dribble past defenders, he can shoot, he can cross. He's got so much to offer as a forward player. Tell we have up there at the moment, and again, I'm talking about plays available. He's good on the ball. He can keep the ball. He can link in with players around him. He's good at giving a bit of a give and go, and he can shoot. As we've seen him this season, he has scored a couple of goals. Yes, they're deflections, but you've got to try it to try something, right, to score, and he's done that. He's not perfect, of course. He's young. Everybody doubts him. Well, not everybody. He does have some fans, but what Spurs do need a stronger number nine longer term. But he can offer something if played correctly in the right system, I think. Richarlison, not really going to talk much about him. He's not playing well at all at the moment. For me, it's just bring him on late, throw him on late in the game if you need a goal, see what he can do. But he's offering very little, so I don't have much confidence with him as our forward player. Solanke hopefully will be back soon, and then we should see him in the side. And then we've seen Wilson over the coming last few weeks that he is improving, direct, energetic, good at those one twos around the box. We've seen some good link-up play with him with Xavi, Udogie and Tal. And of course, there's a long way to go with him, but he can be developed throughout the season. Look, these players, they aren't, top players. I do think some of those players I mentioned are top players, but on the whole, but they are good enough. They are good enough to create more chances, I think, especially with like kind of better spacing and coordinated patterns. I think that this team can create more and just be a bit more dominant at home and forward thinking. And then another part that maybe some fans overlook is the fullbacks, and that's one of our biggest strengths. We've got Pedro Porro in there who provides width. He can come inside, he can invert, he can cross, good crosser of the ball. Can create triangles with the likes of Simmons and Kudos on that right. He can underlap into half spaces for cutbacks. So yeah, he's a good player, Porro. And then also, I have seen some improvement in his defending. Yeah, it's a long way to go. Some people think he can never defend, but I have seen him in games where he can defend well. He's good at reading off counters, and he can press high to trap opponents on the right. So look, Porro gives Spurs that kind of natural wide outlet and that central play. What helps Spurs develop that central play. So far this season, Frank has been playing out to the wide areas and he hasn't been going through central. And I think that's the area which needs to change when regards to setting up the team. We've got to attack more centrally, or combination, mix it up a bit, maybe try and keep the opponents guessing. Then we have Udogie, who has been injured lately, but he's slowly getting back in the side. He can drive forward aggressively. He can go through the inside left channel. He can combine with the likes of Simmons and Tell um, and Wilson. He's good at breaking the lines by carrying the ball, creating overloads in central midfield zones. So look, and in defence, he's got athletic. He can recover, covers wide, counters extremely well, and he's good at stepping into midfield to stop those transitions. So kind of like Udogie, he offers this kind of like vertical running and makes central patterns dangerous. So and then we move on to Spence, right? Offensive and defensive contributions from him. He's a direct runner who can overlap or underlap. He can stretch the pitch and open inside lanes. He has that pace to break defensive blocks late in games, and then in defence he's got that recovery pace, handles one-on-ones very well, and he helps when defending those big spaces when Spurs do try and push up the pitch. So Spence, he's got a lot to offer. Left side, right side, he's got pace, he's got width, and I think he's a good player to kind of be used at home when you're attacking sides and teams are playing the kind of lower block. So look, we're like missing the likes of Madison and Kulusevski and Solanke, and yeah, it is impacting us. Of course, it would impact any team, but it's for me, it is what it is with injury. It's a squad game, and look, a couple of those players will come back into the side and hopefully help Frank in this team. So look, just some like ideas of patterns of play because people are thinking, what does this all mean? You could like when we're attacking, you could have like Tell drop into midfield. You could have like you can pull the centre back out. Then you can have Simmons to move into that space. You could Kudos can make an inside run, and then you've got like the fullbacks Porro and Udogie to provide that width. Another pattern of play, you could use the kind of right half side space triangle. Porro, Kudos, Simmons. Uh, Porro holding the width. Kudos drifting inside. Simmons receiving the balls between the lines, and then you've got that Bentancur support behind him, and it's just that kind of short, fast combinations inside that right channel, which hopefully would be able to create some opportunities. Pattern 3, you've got the Udogie underlap, the carry pattern. Udogie drives inside, Simon moves left, Tell pulls the centre back away, and then you've got that kind of Saar running in behind, great for central cutbacks. Another different pattern of play you could do is the counter press to central break. Say if you lose the ball, Paulinho wins it back, plays it into Simmons centrally, and then he immediately picks out a pass to Tel or Kudos inside. It's fast, it's simple, and it's effective, hopefully. Another pattern of play is the kind of fullback wide and wingers narrow. So you've got Porro wide, and then you put Kudos more inside, play a doggy wide, and then Simmons more inside, and it just kind of then it will create like a four-man central box. So the guys, look, there's so many different patterns of play. I'm sure Frank is working on something, with his coaching staff, which they want to implement, and they've got to really, haven't they? Because the way it's been working and playing and performances at home have just been, just not being very inventive. And I'm sure this coaching team should be working on these sort of ideas, what I'm saying, and these players are more than capable. Look, as I said, Spurs, they don't have like a world-class squad, but they do have a squad and a competitive, absolutely good enough to be competitive in this league. They're international players. They can offer more than what we've seen so far if they're set up differently, organised. The combination plays, I think that Spurs can do better. Look, you know, playing that football, it will create better chances, of course. Will we put them away? That's another question. I don't know, but we've got to start creating more opportunities at home. And look, how far can that type of football take us? Yeah, I don't know how far that can take us, but we've got to see something different. We've got to see Frank try something different, 100%. Guys, drop us your comments, leave us your thoughts. If you don't agree, that's fine. Give your explanations why. There's no reason why Spurs can't adjust the system, the tactics, like I said in this video. And let's just hope that we start to see that in the coming months, and Spurs can be a bit more offensive in games, especially at home. Guys, please smash the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and as always, come on you Spurs.